Oh, it's raining cats and dogs. My daughter runs to the window, eyes open. Where? Where's the cats and dogs? That was the moment I realized my autistic child wasn't wrong. She was accurate. So accurate that if it doesn't make literal sense, it just doesn't land for her. And I was the one that wasn't making much sense. In this video, I wanted to talk about something that we don't often realize is a big deal: how literal interpretation affects communication for autistic people, especially autistic kids who are still trying to navigate the world. First of all, why does it happen? Literal versus implied language. Most of us growing up absorbing unspoken rules of communication. We learn to read between the lines, and we say things like, don't spill the beans, it's a piece of cake, break a leg, hold your horses, I've got butterflies in my stomach, and bite the bullet. And somehow we all just know it's not about the animal, it's not about the food, and it's not about the actual beans or bullet. Neurotypical communication relies a lot on pragmatics, the unspoken rules of communication like sarcasm, tone, body language, and implied rule. But for autistic people, words mean exactly what they say. It's not that they don't understand language, they understand it differently, literally, precisely, logically. Studies using fMRI, the brain scanners, shows that when we interpret sarcasm or metaphors, neurotypical people usually show rapid activities in the prefrontal cortex. And for neurodivergent brains, it usually engage different or fewer pathways. They focus more on the literal interpretation and less on the social guesswork. In other words, the autistic brain may not automatically assume the hidden social meaning. Instead, it focused on the actual words, what was literally said, not what it actually meant. So what does it look like in the daily life? When you say, don't spill the beans, your artistic kid stares at their plate and be like, what? There's beans? I don't see any beans. And you say, it's a piece of cake. And they light up. Oh, where's the cake? Sorry, no dessert. And you cheer, break my leg. And they got horrified. Oh no, Mom, why do you want me to break my leg? And you mumbled, I'm under the weather. And then you look at the window, under the weather. What weather? Cloud? Rain? Do you need an umbrella, Mom? And you said, I've got butterflies in my stomach. And they stepped back. Ew, is it still alive in your stomach? Now let's sprinkle some sarcasm. Oh, well done. When they spelled milk. And then they beam proudly. Your tone doesn't sound happy and your face look a little angry, but your words absolutely saying that they did a great job. Now sprinkle some body language. So you say, we'll see. With that polite smile, that means absolutely not. They go, wait, are we saying or are we not saying? That's a trick. It's funny until it's not. Because when this happens every single day, it just stops being cute or quirky. It's just exhausting. Imagine being a child in a world where every sentence might be a riddle, where people say one thing but mean another and expect you to just know. It's confusing. Like the rules are always changing and no one gives you the manual. This misunderstanding has a ripple effect. When autistic kids are constantly confused or misunderstood, they feel disconnected from the group, left out in the conversation, and they will be labeled as difficult or overreacting. And they struggle in the classroom, where instructions are not literal, and they lose confidence in their ability to understand the world. Over time, they may stop asking questions, or worse, stop trusting their instinct, and when really those instincts are often brilliant. They just don't match social shortcuts. What can we do? We slow down and we get clearer. Let's try to use literal language. Instead of saying break a leg, let's try, you've got this. And of course, you don't have to stop using all of this altogether because they have to learn and they will meet people who use those phrases in their life. So we can teach them what it means by telling the background story, the deep bow the performance does. In the theaters in old times, usually only happens after a successful show. You will bend your legs so dramatically in response to the applause. And that's why we say, break a leg. And now they understand and also validate their feelings and confusions. I can totally see why it's confusing. When I was first learning English, I was confused too. What does cake have to do with homework? Literal thinking is actually a superpower. Autistic people often notice when we've been vague, when our tones doesn't match our face, and when we say one thing and do the other. They don't fall for fluff. They don't play the social guessing game. They hold us accountable to our actual words. They remind us of something we often forget. Say what you mean and mean what you say. In a world that often rewards fluff and fake smile, that honesty is refreshing and it deserves to be celebrated. So next time your autistic child says, where's the cats and dogs? pause, explain what you mean, because every one of those moments is a chance to get deeper into their way of understanding the world. If you had a moment like that, I'd love to hear from you. If you're curious what are the other experiences being autistic, watch this video on the unique gifts of autistic mind. As always, thanks for watching. I appreciate you. See you next time.